chance to enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games you're always going to enjoy it and also want to enjoy it at the same time. Once again, it's a hell of an experience to play against players of that calibre, a team of that calibre. Obviously, we enjoyed it a lot more if the result had been 3 points the other way, but that wasn't meant to be. But obviously, it's a learning process for all the guys in the team, and myself included and stuff. And from that point of view, it is enjoyable. It's always enjoyable to look back and, like I say, play against players who you can measure yourself against, which is what a few of us managed to do.
Because obviously a lot was said about the Munster line in the build up to the game. It went pretty well, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we were fairly good. I mean, our lineups, we know ourselves in the last few games, occasionally our lineup hasn't functioned as well as perhaps we'd like it to have functioned. I think it's one of those things. We know that obviously we need to bring a big focus to it, which we did in training. The week previous, and obviously that looked to have repaid back on the field. So fingers crossed we'll have the same kind of focus this week and the same outcome again the weekend. I mean, obviously knowing you got up against Paul O'Connell, for a fact your line has to be on the money, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. So I think some of that focuses the mind of not just not just me, but everyone who's in the line out and involved. And I think that kind of came through a bit towards the game there.
What's he like around the field to play against Paul O'Connell?
He's always been one of, because being a second row, he's obviously been a hero of mine for some time, and obviously the British Lions captain as well. Rugby personalities don't come much bigger to play against in your position than that. So for me, it's one of those things I've been looking forward to playing against him for a long time. And you can tell he's a good player just by watching him. He's a good player to play against as well. He's a very hard player, technically very good, and I think we need to next week try and close down these opportunities to show that. Whereas perhaps we didn't do that quite so much during this week. We let him get on the front foot a few times.
Carried a lot.
Yeah, he did do. He let him get on the front foot, and I think we need to stop that at source. And also I think we need to try and take the line out away from him a little bit more than we did. I think we were perhaps a bit more passive in the lineup than we would like to be. I think we had the mentality to stop their drive, but we need to have the mentality as well to stop their drive and also stop that possession from up top as well.
Yeah, because I suppose if you can pinch a few, then
that's it. Yeah, I mean, you can never underestimate what a big impact that has. Just pinching a few lines, taking someone's primary source of possession away. So I think that's another target we need to really step up our game in really.
You had a good run in the side now, Damian. Pleased the way things have been.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. It's been it seems to have gone a bit better this year. I managed to bed myself in a bit more. I think it's just a case of taking opportunities when they come. I think everyone's trying to do that in this team, especially when you see the guys who are pushing through. Try and take your spot if you have a bad game. So I think it's one of those things you can't afford to step off the pace. And I think that's not just myself; that's across the board. So that has helped, and it's been good to get a run of games, and it's obviously good to play in these kind of games as well. So you have a run of games, then you come into a Heineken Cup, and you obviously feel a lot more sure of yourself in the side, which is a great thing, really.
Yeah, and I was going to say that must give you a huge amount of confidence when you selected for the game of this magnitude.
Yeah, I mean that's what every player wants when we all play rugby to play in these games. When you ask a player why he does what he does, it's because the big occasions against the big teams. And against the big players, and that's everyone wants to be involved in those. To be involved in those is it's an honour, and you want to keep playing and keep getting into those positions to put yourself forward again.
Where you come from the last couple of years, then in terms of this sort of game, the Heineken game before Christmas, Munster, did you ever sort of think that you were going to get to this point?
You always hope so. I mean, if you didn't have the confidence in yourself, I think you wouldn't go very far anyway. I think it's just a case of maybe a bit of patience and all the hard work. I think really it's one of those things. If it's worth doing, it's worth working at. I think that goes, like I say, everyone in the squad does work hard. I think for myself, it's been I'm just pleased that I've actually got to the stage now where I'm playing in these games. Just trying to kick on from there really.
How long have you been here?
This is my third year now. Yeah, 3 years, third season.
This is probably the most game time.
This will be the most. Yeah, it's the longest run I've had. Back-to-back games, I think it's 12 or 13, of which I've been on the bench for one. Other than that, I think this is 13 on the bounce. I think.
Focus isn't great, probably.
I think everyone's looking forward to it. To be honest, I think we know where we slipped up on the weekend. We know what we need to work on. And I think everyone's also heartened by the Northampton game as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's a bit of that in the back of their mind. I think everyone's looking forward to getting on and putting a few wrongs right. Really, to be honest.
You don't think there's much in it in terms of the sides?
I think, as Sean said before, I think we know we need to focus on, we need to cut out our errors. Obviously, the contact area, we need to go back to how we were against, say, Cast, when we were very good in the contact area. I think that's obviously the same players, so there's no reason why we can't do it. As Sean said again, 3 points is a very small margin. I'm certain, I'm sure all the players and the coaches are all certain as well. There's nothing, no reason we can't go there and get a good result. I think that's everyone's focus and it's what everyone's working towards. So hopefully it'll be a good day in the office and we'll come away with some points.